So I was like, I didn't even last a year, you know, in that lifestyle. So he had got wind of it because of my managers or whatever. So he DM'd me and he told me, he's like, you have a lot of talent. You can accomplish a lot in this business, but you cannot let the distractions keep you away from that. Like, because you can have it all or you can lose it all, you know, in a matter of seconds. And I've always been a big guy, but I had never really had like health issues to where I ended up in the hospital. So that was the first time I actually felt like, oh, I am mortal. Like I'm not immortal like I thought, you know. Right. And after that, I took everything like slow down. So I think that itself just kind of like I needed somebody who I looked up to tell me like, hey, slow down.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we gonna talk.
I want to see, like I said, I want to see you more on YouTube, more just dropping, you know what I mean, the specials and doing the things like I'm seeing this happening. That's what's going to be the thing, I think, in years to come. I think people are going to be dropping and you seeing it's happening. Ali Sadiq is doing it. It's a few more that you're going to see start doing it. Watch what I tell you. Where it's going to be something that everybody, you're going to have to home your own network pretty much.
No, I think that's kind of what we do. I mean, like you guys built this empire, yourself. So I think that's definitely the route the entertainment is going. Luckily, I was able to pick up. I did just shoot my special in Vegas with Kevin Hart's company.
What?
Yeah, LOL Network. And
when is it coming out?
So right now, they're using mine to cut up and pitch to the networks.
Okay.
So I don't have a release date yet, but they're looking at Q1 next year, 2025. And even if it doesn't get picked up, like he said, if they put it on their YouTube, they got 4 million subscribers. Wow. So I know my work is good. I just need them to see it, you know. So, and So when that comes out, if it doesn't get on the network, I would like people would say, "Oh, I failed because it's on YouTube." But nowadays, it's like that's the way to go, almost, you know.
That's where it's gonna be at eventually.
Yeah, exactly.
That stuff, I'm telling you right now, it's crazy numbers. When you start looking at the numbers, it's kicking back.
No, 100%. There's comedians that had HBO specials like in 2008, and now that they own the rights after so many years, they upload them on YouTube, and then they get a whole different type of spike to their career.
There you go.
Because people didn't have access. I didn't have HBO growing up, you know. So
you was still in cable, nigga.
Right? Oh, well, we all had the black box. Yeah, $50 black box. Yeah.
So, when was the first time you actually met a big comedian? And who was that?
Well, I'm the biggest comedian, fattest guy.
Boy, you great.
The first time I met a big comedian, I would say that I like somebody mainstream. I was at Zany's. We were doing a showcase, and sometimes, you know, when there's famous comedians in town, they're shooting some or whatever, they'll drop in, bump everybody on the lineup, do time. Ali Wong had came in to Zany's in Chicago, and she actually went right after me, and I had a dope ass set. I wasn't really nervous because I didn't know she was there.
Okay.
Before I went up. So I went up and I killed it, and I was already happy about that. And then they tell me, oh, Ali Wong is going to go up after you. She just watched your set. So, I mean, she went up, whatever, did her thing. And then when she came off, she came straight up to me and she was like, that was a great set. And that was it. So, like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not the biggest fan of her, but I always see her on my Netflix queue, movies and shows. So for her to tell me that, I was like, oh shit, that's dope. And that was my first actual interaction with like somebody who was mainstream. And then after that, I mean, once I moved to LA, I mean, I've toured with Fluffy now.
You toured with Fluffy?
Yeah, he done let me on his private jet.
What? How did you tell me about that? That's good stuff right there.
No, yeah, me and him, we have the same managers and agents. Okay. So we have the same network. So they kind of cross paths. We cross paths eventually, and he's, you know, luckily he's a guy who helps out the young comics coming up. Not a lot of people do that, so he offered me when he did Chicago, the United Center where the Bulls play. You know, as somebody from Chicago, you do the biggest arena in your city. That's the biggest thing you could possibly do. You know, so he's like, oh, I want you to open up for me in your city. And you could ride with me on the jet. So yeah, I mean,
I was that jet ride, man. Let's talk about it.
I ain't gonna lie, the jet ride was more exciting than the damn show, because I was like, that's like a once in a lifetime opportunity, you know. I'm like, I Ubered to Long Beach. That's where he lives and where he flies out of, and it was a G4 jet. They've got his carpet with his logo on it. Like it's like when you see on the rapper stories and shit. Like I was like, damn, I only seen this shit on Instagram, you know. And then just I was on the plane, like I'm grabbing snacks snacks. I'm looking through cabinets and shit. Like, they used to that, so they just sitting down, they're taking naps. I'm walking up and down the goddamn plane. I'm in the bathroom taking pictures. So I got like 28 photos. I've been uploading every other month. People be thinking I've been flying private every other month. Hell no, that's the same one-time jet. And the crazy thing is that he ain't taking me back home. I had to fly Spirit all the way. I flew Spirit all the way back home.
Wow. It was a downer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You're like, what the hell is going on?
I was salt.
But it motivated you, like, man, I'm gonna have one of these jets one day.
100% like motivated me. I mean, I was like, wow, because you know, it's like people say like representation matters, you know, like with the Disney princesses, you know, they make them, you know, Latinos black now because people get mad. They're like, oh, it's not supposed to be like that, but it definitely does matter that you see somebody like he's a fat Mexican like me, and for him to be able to fill up an arena and people, you know, he flying private, paparazzi waiting for him when he get off the jet. Like, he did this shit and he looked like me, so why can't I?
Come on, man.
You know,
that's hard, bro.
100% motivated me. On top of that, he ain't even had to do this. At the end of the show, he brought me back on stage, told Chicago, like, this is your hometown hero. He's gonna be on this stage one day, and the whole crowd lit up. They pulled out their phones. My parents was in the crowd. It was the first time.
Oh man,
yeah, it was the first time. And he said it in Spanish. My parents don't speak English, so he said it in Spanish to make sure they understood. And it was the first time I ever seen my pops cry. You know, so that shit was
wow.
It was
Did you
amazing.
cry?
After I saw him, you
had to let it out.
Yeah, it kind of automatic. You know,
like, damn, man,
Yeah.
this nigga didn't have to cry.
yeah, because he used to take me to, I used to do shows in Gary, Indiana. I don't know, that's where like Michael Jackson's from. Ain't shit over there. Like, it's all boarded up. It's bogus.
Mike dead now. That's why.
Yeah. And when I would go there, it'd be like 4 people in the crowd. My dad would just be sitting there, and he'll be like, "What the fuck this dude doing with his life?" You know. But I was drinking so much and doing so many other drugs before that he was just happy I was trying to find something out of, you know. So for him to see that moment, it was definitely, you know, it was special for both of us.
What is something that Fluffy said to you that personally inspired you?
I think when I came in the game, I was already partying a lot, and then you start getting a little bit of money. You know, I was always broke as fuck. Like, and that was by choice. Like, I could have been smarter making financial decisions, but I wasn't. So I was always living check to check. And when I came in the game and I started getting a little bit of money, nothing had changed. Like, I was making more money, but I was still living check to check because I was making more, but I was blowing more.
Right.
So the drinking picks up, the drugs, the party, everything picks up, you know? So I ended up in the hospital maybe like 6 months after started touring. So I was like, I didn't even last a year, you know, in that lifestyle. So he had got wind of it because of my managers or whatever. So he DM'd me and he told me, he's like, you have a lot of talent. You can accomplish a lot in this business, but you cannot let the distractions keep you away from that. Like, because you can have it all or you can lose it all, you know, in a matter of seconds. And I've always been a big guy, but I had never really had like health issues to where I ended up in the hospital. So that was the first time I actually felt like, oh, I am mortal. Like, I'm not immortal like I thought, you know.
Right.
And after that, I took everything like slow down. So I think that itself just kind of like, I needed somebody who I looked up to tell me like, hey, slow down, you know, because when people around you, especially, you know, maybe like I said, it's an ego thing perhaps, where people tell you like, hey, chill out, but you're like, hey, you don't tell me what to do. Like, you're not gonna tell me what to do, you know. And even my own parents, you'd be like, all right, but like, I respect my parents, but at the same time, it's just like, when you're young and dumb, you're like, all right, whatever, you're my parents, you're supposed to tell me to slow down. But when it's somebody you look up to and who doing what you want to be doing and got what you want, it kind of hit a little bit different, you know. So that's probably one of the things that stood out to me the most.
Wow, that's dope, man. I knew you and him being, you know, together like that, he's gonna give you some jewels because he been in the game.
Yeah.
And that's what the OG's supposed to do. They supposed to, you know, let you know, hey man, we got to get it done like this here.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we gon' talk.